Welcome back, everybody, to another Pittsburgh Pirates franchise video. Here we begin at 46 and 35, but before we go anywhere else, there's something very important I need to point out. We've talked a lot about Colin Holderman and his success this year in year 2 with the Pirates, and I am very pleased to announce that I noticed while looking at his card, right there I'm going to highlight it, the potential has been upgraded. Colin Holderman has done so well this year consistently that they have upgraded his potential even at 30 years old, and he's now nearing 80 overall. That is just incredible and very exciting and also very rare. And here we go, a critical situation against the Cardinals with Holderman. Let's go ahead and trust him to finish this out for us with a 1-run lead. And we do win. Holderman does it yet again. That is fantastic. For the batting side of things, we only got 5 hits, 4 walks, and among those 5 hits, we still have been searching for Ke'Bryan Hayes and Sung-Chae Chang to do better, and they're both not really doing that yet, floating around 200. Shane Baz has a pretty good start, but we had some excellent relief, and Holderman gets save 21. Dennis Santana gets win number 7 on the year, so he has been very clutch in some situations, despite not having a real organizational role. He's just in the pen for us, but he's been doing phenomenal. Here we go with Strzelecki, though. This is against the White Sox. Bottom of the 9th with men on the corners and 2 outs. It's 0-2. And Luis Robert Jr. lifts that for Carter in right field. And it's still in play. They're running home. Well, let's stop him there. But that looked like it was going foul into foul territory. And so Carter just grabbed it on the bounce. But apparently that went fair and it's now tied. Great. Okay, so we're going to sim the rest of this one out. That was really weird. And nope, can't get out of the game just yet. Another one with Strzelecki. It's the following inning here, so the bottom of the 10th and another chance to walk this thing off. And we've got the lead, so we're primed to do it as long as, well, not walk it off. I say that, but we're going to close the game out is what I mean. And no, lifted to left field. Sosa, Reynolds going back, and we've got it. All right, never mind. No need to be alarmed. Pirates win. Everybody remain calm. That is now a 4-game win streak as we won that 8-7. What about game 2 with Zach Littell? No, that's a 1-4 loss as the White Sox bounce back. Offensively, only 6 hits, 1 walk, and we struck out 9 times. Brian Reynolds with that home run getting us on the board, but not much else happening. That's pretty disappointing there. And Zach Littell does not get the support. And letting through 4 runs, yeah, that's going to lose the game for you. We did get good relief, but ultimately, yeah, that's on the pitching and the offense, really. Not a single contributor. I want to look at some league leaders now, and batting average league leaders include Joey Bart. He's number 7 with a .316 average. Can you believe it? For at-bats, Luis Arraez is at 349, usually leading off for us, so that does make sense. For stolen bases, O'Neal Cruz is at number 10 with 16, right behind them. Joey Bart's on-base percentage is good enough for number 12 in the National League. For wins, it's Paul Skeens for us at number 9, and he has 8 wins, so that's pretty exciting. We're going to see his name a lot. Here he is again under losses. He's only got 2, and that's good enough to be tied for 3rd. For saves, here we go. Colin Holderman is number 5 on that board. Trevor McGill for our divisional rivals, the Brewers, is leading the league right now, at least the National League. For the ERA, Paul Skeens is number 2 with a 1.91 ERA, but Rhett Lauder overperforming like crazy for the Reds. For strikeouts, Paul Skeens is number 3 in the National League with 105, and he's not far behind. For innings pitched, he actually leads just by 1 single out over Logan Webb, but I'll still take it. Skeens is doing it all. He is also leading the whip category with a 0.82 over Zach Wheeler in 2nd place. And pitching war, he is at the top above Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Batting war sees O'Neal Cruz with a 3.0 war, and he leads that category for us. So yeah, just a quick update to show you how the guys are doing comparatively, and that's an 8-0 shutout victory in Game 3 to seal the series. Lots of hits today, 17 of them to be exact, with 5 walks as well. 3 for 5, 3 for 6, 3 for 6. Yeah, lots of these guys were getting involved today. Endy Rodriguez, the only one without a hit. We got home runs from O'Neill Cruz, Joey Bart, and Josh Palacios. Andrew Abbott has another stellar day, going 6 2/3 with only 2 hits allowed, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Sturzelecki with great relief behind him. And one of the things to watch with Abbott was the number of walks that he would give out, but so far he's had it under control and had some really good starts for us to begin his time here in Pittsburgh. Now, divisional rivals Brewers, and here we go. It's going to get very interesting now. Critical situation, Evan Carter at the plate with 2 men on. Let's go. It's the top of the 8th. Milwaukee defending a 1-run lead against us. It's 4-3. And Evan Carter, who I have not had very much success with hitting, in the simulation, he's doing okay. Right now, his average is 225. That's lower than what it was, I think, previously in the year. I haven't been very worried about him. I know that he's going to be fine. He just needs a little bit of time to develop. He's not a case to where, like, I took a chance on, like, say, a Sung Chae Chang at shortstop, which we've documented has been a real struggle for him to get better. I thought it was going to happen quicker, but anyways, Nick Gonzalez here now, trying to turn it around, averaging 226, and he is 3 for 3 today. So fantastic showing against the Milwaukee Brewers here, up to the top of the 8th at least. And he will swing and miss at that slider below the zone. It's 0-1 now. Actually, we'll move forward, and the count is going to be 2-2. 2 men on, 2 outs. And Nick Gonzalez, weak lead to third base. They'll throw that over, and we will strand 2. Now going into the bottom of the 8th. Because it's a divisional rival, I do want to finish this game. We're going to see how it plays out. David Bednar at the mound in the bottom of the 8th. 0-2 against Smith, who lifts it to left field for Palacios, and he is out. First one down. Bednar's been in the game for quite a bit to this point. That's pitch number 31 that he just threw. And Ortiz lifts that to center field for Sawinski. So 2 pop-out flyouts into the outfield so far. It's 1-1 against Garrett Mitchell. And that's hit over to Gonzalez. There we go. Bednar has a really good inning, and we move into the final stretch of this divisional matchup. They're going to bring in save leader for the National League, Trevor Megill. And it is closing time. It's the top of the 9th. Last time that we're at bat. And Sawinski is going to take a 101-mile-an-hour fastball to the upper outside corner. And yeah, there we go. 2-way tie between Megill and Helsley at the top. Holderman with 21 not far below. But it's 1-2 against Sawinski now. And what a year he's having. He's averaging 282. And he will get a hit there, and it goes through into center field. Sawinski is on. A leadoff single versus Megill, and if we're going to start a rally here, it needs to happen right now. Josh Palacios, who has been seeing quite a bit of action, is 0 for 3 today, and he fouls that away into left, and now it's 0-2 against him. Megill is a very good pitcher, obviously, to lead the National League in saves. That's one thing. He also performs very well. But Palacios cracks that to right field, and that is gone. And Pittsburgh has taken the lead. Wow, Palacios, one of the last guys that I would expect to do it, and only the 3rd time that he has this year. That is a 2-run blast, and we have taken the lead from Milwaukee, and Megill has blown the save. The Brewers can't believe it. Wow. Fantastic shot into right field for Josh Palacios. A perfect swing, perfect timing, and 112 off the bat. Absolutely phenomenal hit. And Ke'Bryan Hayes, oh no. He does reach up in spirit. Terang grabs it out of the air, but the Brewers have seen enough, and they're going to bring in Aaron Ashby now, who actually has been struggling quite a bit this year. A 5.68 ERA over 38 innings is really not good at all. Sung Chae Chang is now batting 196, though, at the plate with 1 out, and Ashby delivers the first pitch, which Chang will get over the third baseman and into left field, and we are not quite done pushing the pressure onto Milwaukee now. It's 1-2 against Luis Ariz. He's batting 3rd today, and he's 1 for 3, and that goes past Ashby, but they step on the bag, and Ariz is too slow to leg it out. So we will enter now the bottom of the 9th with a 1-run lead, and you know what that means. Our saver, closer, savior. That was really bad. But anyways, it's going to be Colin Holderman. He's coming back in with a 1.86 ERA. 21 saves on the year, over 38 innings pitched, and the averages are really low against him. Holderman is having an absolute poster year, and this is everything we could have ever hoped for. Nick Lofton grounds it to Horwitz. Holderman assisting gets the first out. All right, so far so good. Bryce Terang now, though, as the lineup turns over, and he will swing and miss at the sinker. Holderman's got him. We're down to the final out as the Milwaukee fans cannot believe what they're seeing. Blake Perkins will take the sweeper outside. It's okay, baby, don't fear the sweeper. There we go. Chang's got it, and the Pirates win. Dramatic comeback fashion in the 8th. We took the lead, and Holderman closes it down and saves the game. Incredible stuff to lead off this series, and now in Game 2, Shane Baz is pitching, and here we go. Another critical situation, bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, this time for Dennis Santana. Let's go. All right, men on the corners. Reynel Delgado at the plate, 2 for 3 today, and we get the call at the bottom of the zone for that fastball. Thank you very much, ump. It's now 0-1 against Delgado. Chance of let's go Brewers as the game is tied. And he lifts that to center field. Cruz going to stand underneath it. I almost said post up or posterize. I was going to fumble that, and I ended up doing it anyways. But Cruz gets the final out, and we're tied now. Going into the top of the 10th with Spencer Horwitz, man on second. And that's hit well to right field. It's going back, going deep, and it's gone! No way that just happened. We finally get our first hit in spring training of year 2 with Spencer Horwitz. It takes a full year to get a hit at the major league level for this guy, and now, against division rivals and leaders, Spencer Horwitz has just hit a 2-run blast to push the lead, and look at him, he can't believe it. Wow. A 2-run lead now in the top of the 10th, still nobody out, and Brian Reynolds is at the plate. He hits that into left field gently, though, and that is going to be the first out for Milwaukee. But wow, that was a really, really exciting play there. I can't believe it finally happened, and it couldn't have happened at a better time against a better team. Evan Carter swings at the 2-seamer and misses, so he goes down on strikes, and McGill gets 2 down. We've pushed 21 pitches now for McGill in this game, and after he was used yesterday and this long outing today, I don't think we're going to see him tomorrow no matter what. And Gonzalez, yeah, it will drop. It was really slow leading out there, but there's plenty of field in right center, and Gonzalez has a 2-out double. That's his 11th of the year. Really nice. And yeah, they're going to pull McGill again. We've chased him out of 2 consecutive situations, and he's blown 2 saves because of what we've been able to do against him. That is an incredible feeling, and that's just, wow, what a thrill. They're going to bring in J.B. Bukowskis, hopefully I'm saying that right, who's only pitched 9 2/3 innings so far, and he's got a pretty high ERA, but it's 0-2 against Endy Rodriguez, and that is a strikeout. All right, you guys know what that means. We have a 2-run lead now going into the bottom of the 10th, and it's time to bring in our closer again. Colin Holderman will trot back out to the mound, and he's now got 22 saves as he enters today, searching for number 23. And it's really awesome that we've been able to eliminate their closer as the save leader and have Holderman play catch-up a little bit and just close the gap between the top and where he's at. We get a strikeout for out number 1. It's now 2-2 against Bryce Terang. And that is lifted to center field for Cruz, who is dancing a little bit, but he does have it. And they don't test the arm, even though we went to the throw-off man, jeez. What am I trying to say? There's a term that I'm blanking on right now, but the guy that cuts it off, the cutoff man, jeez, yeah, that, simple enough. Anyways, Gonzalez gets him, and the Pirates win Game 2. We seal the series against division leaders and rivals, the Brewers, and wow, can we go for a sweep? Would that even be possible right now? What do you guys think? 5-4 and then 4-2. Let's take a look at the box score just to see. Yeah, lots of offense, 12 hits total, 4 walks. O'Neal Cruz went 3 for 5. We got 4 guys go 2 hits on the day. And that Spencer Horwitz home run, which I'm going to remember and be happy about for a long time. Great start by Baz. Santana gets win number 8, and Holderman saved 23. All right, we're 4 games back now as we've trimmed the lead, and we are 8-2 in our last 10. Now slowly closing in on the Brewers, who are 55-32 ahead of us. Game 3, and that's a loss. It's 4-10. But you know what? That's fine. We took 2 out of 3 against a very, very competent division rival, and we've been slugging it out here at the top of the division since basically the beginning of the year, where they were chasing us early, and then we gave it up to them, and now we're closing the gap. So we've won 2 out of 3. Jared Jones had a really bad game, and that's kind of rare nowadays here in Season 2. Carson Fulmer, though, got really, really roughed up. So now we're going to go to St. Louis, play against the Cardinals, who are 34-54. And we got a situation for Bednar trying to close the bottom of the 8th. And I'm going to go ahead and just trust him to close this one out himself. And that comes back to bite me very quickly as we lose 9-5. And then the Marlins are actually knocking on the door. They want to trade. Well, let's see what they want. Okay, so they're putting forward Max Meyer, starting pitcher, $2.1 million contract, and they want Wyatt Sanford. Sanford for shortstop is technically second on the list for us, but I think he's in Double-A right now. He's in Triple-A. Okay, 20 years old, C potential, 64 overall. He's one of those guys that's kind of floating around where like Sung-Chae Chang is. He's not doing that great in AAA though, so I'm not sure why the Marlins are targeting him. Let's take a look at Max Meyer, who is 26 years old, 75 overall with B potential. That actually is like very reminiscent of a Thomas Harrington, if I'm not mistaken. I'll take a look at it here in a second. But Meyer is also having a challenging year, a 4.78 ERA, even though that's the best in the last 2. So, I don't know. We might have something here. With a B potential, he's got room to grow. He's 26, so plenty of time. And 75 overall is really appealing. He's got a really team-friendly contract right now that'll age him up into his 30th year. And he's only got 1 option used. I can't see a reason not to take this. And if they're going to put up Max Meyer, I think I want him. And here it is, Thomas Harrington. Oh, hang on. I'm getting a phone call. Thomas Harrington is doing pretty badly in AAA right now, and he's what I'm talking about, though. A 69 overall, 24 years old. So maybe we send him down and we put Meyer in his spot in AAA. I think that's the play. But anyways, if Max Meyer is available, then I think it would be really, really dumb to not take this trade. So we are going to go ahead and accept this trade from the Marlins. Thank you very much for offering it. Glad to have him. It now is pretty much just a matter of where we want to put him, and taking a look at these starting pitchers, we've got Bubba Chandler, who is nearly ready to go for the major league level, and I don't think that I trust Meyer more than Chandler. So we're going to go ahead and put him in AAA like I talked about, and Thomas Harrington, who is struggling even in AAA, needs more help. I think sending him down to Double-A will allow him a soft reset on his development timeline, but it's just going to push him back a little bit further. And while I was in there, I was looking at a few things, and I wanted to point out Steve Seidlinker, similarly to Colin Holderman, has received a boost to his potential. This is awesome, as Seidlinker, as we saw in the Double-A showcase video that I did that included him, he went 4 for 4 that day. He's seeing great development across the board. He's averaging 275, a 345 OBP, slugging 493. He's got 78 hits total, and 30 of them are extra base hits, which include 15 home runs. Seidlinker is absolutely killing it down in Double-A, and I was so excited to see that upgrade to his potential, because when we drafted him, I was disappointed that it was only a C. Now, moving to Ke'Bryan Hayes. With Seidlinker at third base doing so well down in the pipeline, it has me thinking about Ke'Bryan Hayes and how much we've been talking about him. He's averaging 206 right now, and he has just absolutely fallen off a cliff as far as his offensive production. Defensively, I'm still very happy with him, but Ke'Bryan Hayes has not been able to get his stuff together. And Seidlinker is not prepped at the door and ready to go, but the time is getting closer and closer to where Seidlinker is going to be in danger of getting that job from Ke'Bryan Hayes unless he does something or we make a move. We'll go ahead and continue here, and I wanted to take a look at the box score real quick. And Luis Arraez went 0 for 4. A couple of guys with out hits as well. And then Andrew Abbott has his first real bad start, I would say. 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 4 walks. So those walks rear their ugly head again. And Santana takes his first loss of the year. That was against St. Louis in Game 2. Let's see if we can prevent the sweep in Game 3. No. So how do we win 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee in dramatic fashion and then get swept by a team that's 20 under 500? I don't know. Baseball is weird, man. Sung-Chae Chang is now averaging 195, and that is abysmal. And Skeens picks up loss number 3 as he let in 3 earned runs, and then Harvey and Ferguson both let in a run behind him. So, yeah, couldn't get the offense where we needed it, and now the Phillies are home for us. And, wow, great victory in Game 1, 10-3. We got 13 hits, 10 RBIs, obviously, 3 walks. And, wow, that's a really, really good day, especially for Brian Reynolds, who went yard twice. Spencer Horwitz also had a home run, and Nick Gonzalez picked up 2 doubles. A triple by Luis Ariz, and he's not very quick, so that's an awesome hit. Shane Baz picks up win number 5 off of 3 earned runs and 6 innings pitched, so he'll notch another quality start. Bednar gets hole 22, and Clevenger has a clean inning. That's an excellent win against Philadelphia in Game 1. And now a situation for Colin Holderman, who is here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs. And I think still we trust in Holderman right now. He seems to be able to do no wrong. And the Pirates defeat the Phillies 2-1. Holderman successfully saved it and closed out, I imagine, the game. Yeah, he stayed. Okay, perfect. So Jared Jones has an amazing day, 7 2/3 with 1 earned run, only 5 hits allowed. And then Holderman gets the save. Okay, here we go. Game 3, Zach Littell versus Jameson Taillon, former Cub. And Alika Williams has shoulder soreness. Okay, he'll be out for a few days. We'll just keep him active, I think. And wow, we swept the Phillies. We are now 54-40 as we just dominated one of the highest competitive teams in all of baseball. We only did it on 5 hits, and it looks like Evan Carter's 2-run blast was the one that did it. Wow. Okay, excellent day. O'Neal Cruz got a triple as well. And Zach Littell picks up win number 5, and we had some awesome relief. David Bednar with hold number 23, Holderman with save 25. Really, really cool to see. We are still 5 games back as we've done really well lately. But I want to check on Holderman one more time as he's picked up a few more saves, and he is now tied for 4th at 25. Only 2 below a 3-way tie up at the top, which does feature McGill still from the Milwaukee Brewers. But wow, Holderman, what an absolute amazing year. I mean, I've run out of adjectives and superlatives to describe how happy I am with Colin Holderman. And Neville Schwartz has a shoulder strain, out for 1 to 2 weeks. We'll just add him to the 10-day for now, and we pick up a win. That's 4 in a row, and this one against the Washington Nationals. 13 hits and 5 walks. O'Neal Cruz went over 3 today, notably. He did walk twice, so still contributing. And we got 4 doubles on the day. Chang, Reynolds, Horowitz, and Triolo with the extra base hits. And Andrew Abbott bounces back. There we go. Win number 6. 8 innings pitched. Only 3 hits, 2 walks. And Sturzalecki allows 1 run in relief, but we still win the game after all of that offense. So a 4-game winning streak feels very good as we feel like we've got some momentum going into the All-Star break. And let's see if Skeens in Game 2. No, never mind. Can't even finish the thought. We lose 3-5. Goodness, Joey Bart goes 3 for 5 today, speaking of which. Evan Carter goes 2 for 4, and he picks up 3 more RBIs on the year. He had 2 doubles as well. Paul Skeens has a great game that we end up wasting as Bednar picks up loss number 3, allowing 2 earned runs and no outs. That's really terrible. But it's draft day, you guys, and I'm excited for this one as this turned out to be a little more weird than I thought it would be. I wanted to highlight possible number 1 picks, and Pablo Cabrera is first. David Valenzuela could also be there. I think at center field, there's so much to offer, and he reminds me a lot of how Steve Seidlinger's card looked. David Wong, we'd have to pull back just a little bit. He's most likely going to have B potential, so he may not be the best first-round pick, but it all depends on who's left. Luther Conrath, maybe not. Jose Ortiz, yeah, we're starting to get down a little lower than I'd like for round 1. All right, so we pick at 7. It will be the Rays, Athletics, and White Sox to begin this year's draft. Let's go ahead and get in there. For the very first pick of the 2026 draft, the Tampa Bay Rays select William Beam. He was officially ranked 37 on the MLB board. He's a catcher with up to 99 potential, and we don't know anything about him, so I guess good luck to you. But wow, they reached all the way back to 37. Todd Wolfe, meanwhile, goes to the Athletics, and his draft rank was number 7 overall, so the first 2 picks do not feature anybody in the top 3 as far as the MLB board rankings. The White Sox will then fix that, as they will take the number 2 ranked Quinn Gabriel, a right fielder who looks to have most likely B potential. All right, so we've got 3 picks ahead of us now as the Nationals, Marlins, and Rockies all pick first, and then we get our choice. I think Pablo Cabrera is going to go to the Washington Nationals, and they have snuck away with the 4th pick, the number 1 ranked prospect on this draft board. All right. The Rockies have picked Sean Redd, who is ranked 12 on the MLB board, which does leave us David Valenzuela. Now, with his incredible high overall and the potential being somewhat similar right there, there's a chance that he's got higher overall ratings than potential, and that was, I think, the case with Seidlinker. If I'm not mistaken, it was like pretty much dead on. And we saw his potential just get upgraded a few minutes ago. I think the same could happen for Valenzuela, and I would love to see that experiment work out. So we are going to draft him, and that's the 7th pick overall of the 2026 draft. He was ranked number 8, so it's still appropriate. I'm ignoring that he was ranked 38th for us within the organization. That just doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so we're going to move into the competitive balance rounds now and try to pick somebody. Guys I'm looking at are going to be third baseman Irving Nollat. I know we already have Seidlinker slotted for third base, but it never hurts to have another high-profile prospect in the works because Seidlinker's pipeline might be quicker than I had originally planned with him doing so well. And so somebody like Nollat could be our project that we work on down to the minors while Seidlinker is trying to figure things out. But first, we've got Pablo Palacios, a starting pitcher who looks to have most likely B potential, but he's also got a very, very high overall. So is it Palacios or Nollat? I think right now, because of what I just said about Seidlinker, the need for Nollat is a little less, but I said going into this draft I wanted pitching to not worry about, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Pablo Palacios. I think he looks great. His overall should be somewhere between 73 and 88, so a very short pipeline for him. Could be that weird overall and potential clash situation again, but we'll see what happens. One more pick to go, and it's the Athletics, and Irving Nollat is still on the board. So if they don't pick him, and they don't, they choose Matt Fox instead at first base. Yeah, I think at overall 66 to 80, the potential's right there. This seems to be what's going on for me in the prospect generation, whatever code that they used. It's a lot of guys that I'm finding that have very similar overall and potential rankings, but that doesn't scare me away because if they've got a high overall, I know that they're going to be competitive. And there's plenty of guys that we could choose, but Martin Valenzuela, I think, looks really good as a prospect, but I don't think taking him at 42 is the play. His MLB draft rank is 95, and ours is a little behind that at 97. So I think Irving Nollat is going to be it. And we're going to go ahead and draft him. Pick number 42. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups right now. Pick number 42 is going to go to him, and we'll sim now as there's a big gap between the next picks. And Valenzuela is still there, actually. And he might struggle a little bit initially with hits per 9 and home runs per 9. I see the red, but when it's, the law of averages should have that somewhere in the middle. So I'm looking at probably in the 40s for both of those two rankings. His overall is a little below, so Valenzuela is a project, but I think I'm okay with taking that on. As a reliever, he should get plenty of action and chances to show what he's made of, so we'll go ahead and take a chance on him at 81. Moving forward to our next pick, we pick at 111, and I've only got 2 guys left on the board. Antone Roca from Texas has 5 pitches in his mix. He's 72% motivated to sign already for only $500,000. Doctor says he's healthy, and he's got a pretty good overall, 62 to 72 as a starting pitcher. picking him in round 4 at 111, I think would be a good thing to do. And so that is what I'm going to end up. Just go ahead and do it. We'll make this one real easy. Thomas Ott, I think, is higher. Yeah, he's higher ranked on the MLB board, but he just looks a little bit less appealing overall. I'm not really a fan of, a lot of those ratings and how they look. So it's going to be Roca. So we will welcome him from Texas over into Pittsburgh. Our next picks are 141 and 171, and because there was only 2 guys left at 111 on my board, I probably should have added more prospects here, as I'm going to have to scramble. And they reduced the timer down from 4 minutes to just 1. So I need to look really quickly at guys that we've scouted already in order to make this decision. And J.J. Burden looks pretty good. 60 to 75 overall is what his area is, and I think that could be really helpful. Don Marlin has potentially a 38 overall. Pedro Pinto is a two-way player. That's really interesting, but I think right now J.J. Burden looks a little bit better, and it comes down to the last second. We do select him as pick number 141 in the draft this year. So he's got a really good overall starting pitcher with probably C potential, but now that we know that those things can be upgraded, it's not really a huge determining factor for me to pick somebody with C or B potential, knowing that they can get better. All right, we are 1 pick away. Again, the Athletics ahead of us as we are about to select 171. Pedro Pinto is still available on the board. And with a two-way player, there's always a chance that he could do something for you offensively. He looks to be a decent starting pitcher, and we may not end up using him offensively at all. I'm not sure. Sam Stowers also looks like he could be pretty good, but he's going to have lower C potential, and that's where it starts to get a little bit dicey. Diego Campillo looks like he throws a really good cutter, and he's not going to walk anybody pretty much ever. Fabio Bruno has a pretty solid C potential range that he's in right now, but I don't know. It's the last pick that we're going to make this year at 171, and the idea of a starting pitcher / two-way player, he's got a ton of speed, 65 to 90, at least at present. I mean, we could use him to pinch run or something like that, but I'm really curious how a two-way player works in this franchise and how we'd be able to navigate that process. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just take a shot here. It's our last pick. Why not? Pedro Pinto, welcome to Pittsburgh. We're going to see what you can do on both ends of the ball, and hopefully his potential is pretty good. That 88 shows blue, and that means that it might actually be a potential, but we'll have to wait and see after we sign these draft picks. And that's the conclusion of the draft. I want to thank you guys for entertaining me here and, the support with the views, the likes that I've been getting, the comments every once in a while. I do really appreciate all of them. Any interactions for me are always just for something really, really cool to be happy about. So thank you guys. I'll see you next time.